What's up, everybody,
What's
and
happening?
welcome back to
Really? You dickhead?
Your phone's still up.
Okay.
What's up, everybody?
What's happening, family?
And welcome back to another episode of
Is This Gonna Cause an Argument?
My name is Angel Lakita Moore, a.k.a. Angel Tanksley, and a.k.a. that chick Angel, that chick Angel, that chick Angel. And I'm joined by this man. Tell him who you are.
I'm Marcus Tanksley, a.k.a. Tank, the other host of This Is Gonna Cause an Argument. Hey, fam, if this is your first time tuning in, we greatly appreciate it. This is a podcast we do every single week. We pretty much talk about anything we goddamn feel like it, all right? And we've been doing this podcast for 10 years, and we're going to stay here for, we'll see. Hey, if it's your first time tuning in, you might be watching us live. You might be watching us on the edited version, which comes out on Wednesday. But you can watch this live with our media family. All you got to do is go to patreon.com/thatchickangel. Sign up for the low of $5 a month. You can be a part of that media family and see all the behind the scenes stuff, all the pre and post conversation relative to the podcast. And we have a good time over here. And we don't just do this podcast live. We do other stuff with the Patreon. We do a fixing stuff. We do a riding to events stuff with them. We have a good time with our Patreon. And we are joined by some wonderful sponsors.
We surely are, and I'm so grateful for them. I'm going to tell you more about them later on in the podcast. But if you're like, but tell us now who they are. It's Hugs, Calm, and Better Help. We'll tell you more about them later on. But please feel free to check them out. Use their services. Use our discount code. Get your stuff for even less than what you gotta pay, because that's the deal we've worked out with these folks. So I am super duper 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 excited to tell you all about them. So Honey Bun, how is you?
I'm all right.
You good?
Yeah.
You really? Nothing got you in a specific mood at this moment, not in your feelings, but in this moment.
Oh, in this specific moment right now?
Yeah.
You know, just the hypocritical nature of some people got me feeling some type of way, but I'll be all right.
Who's being a hypocrite towards you? Rolling your eyes like that. Let me tell you what's got me feeling a little bit worried. And it just popped up as we started the episode. I saw that financial aid letters just went out for the school. And I don't see one.
What we gonna do is find it.
No, that is the reason why when that alert popped up on my thing of, oh, everybody should have gotten their stuff, I'm like, I don't see anything.
Because we will pause this and make some phone calls.
I don't see a single word. So that's the reason why I had my phone up like a hypocrite.
Make sure I ain't. Oh, no, I ain't talking about the phone.
What's the hypocrite?
I just did the hypocritical nature just because I'm looking at my phone. You have literally done your hair.
Not at the top. I just wanted the top. That's it. That's it.
I don't give a damn what you wanted.
Truly,
Let me look at this email. We got more pressing issues. Give a damn about that damn this podcast right now. Let me see here. That ain't been updated.
Oh.
No. Spam.
Yeah, I said, now what?
Spam.
Huh? I said, well, I don't see no email. And y'all, we had a problem. This is just telling y'all a little bit of TMI. But so anytime you're applying for financial aid in these like school systems, they got to know all your business, and that's fine. Know all my business so that you know that I cannot afford to pay full price. Well, as an actress who has worked for a very long time that also gets paid residuals, I get 10, 15 W-2s. And we did not file until later in the year. We just filed like 4 months ago, if that. So in the process,
and a lot of stuff was jacked up over here in California because they put out everybody had like, you know what, y'all ain't got to. We know the IRS is messed up right now. You ain't got to pay yet.
So we also had never, like our assistant at that time when all those forms were coming in, was not fully integrated into how to keep all of that stuff together. So when we did file, I was missing W-2s. I was like, I don't even know where they are. I have no idea. So, but what we know is the IRS is going to know how much I made,
right?
Regardless. So what we initially filed does not match what the IRS had. The IRS had that I made more. And I was like, okay, that's fine. The IRS is right. But the people who are supposed to go over the application, it's not the school, it's an outside source, was like, well, we need to see other W-2s. I was like, I don't know where they are. I've looked through all of our stuff. They are not here. Nor do we, even when the assistant who scanned them in, she scanned in what she could find. I said, so I don't really know what else you want us to do. I don't even know where those W-2s, like who even were the issuer. And if you pull up the transcript from, it's not letting me log into the thing either. If you, yeah,
I can't even find it.
We'll go to the regular website.
I'm trying to get there.
The school website, I mean.
Oh.
So
I usually go through it.
Yeah. They were like, we can't verify your income. And I'm like, but you can't, because the IRS told you what my income was. It shows you. When I log in, it tells you. And they were like, we need the W-2s. So even when I went, I was like, okay, maybe if I go onto IRS's website, they'll be able to tell me who these damn W-2s are from. They don't give you the whole name. They give you like a couple of letters.
Mm-hmm.
So WAR is more than likely Warner Brothers, but is it Warner Brothers TV or is it Warner Brothers Studio? So I would have had to match up all the ones that I had to the ones that they had missing, then try to figure out if E is Entertainment Partners or E is something else. Excuse me. Long story short, I ain't got no email.
Yeah. A lot of people I saw before I went over here, a lot of people that it's federal. No, this is a private school.
So no. The taxes, so federally, I can look up how much.
No, they're talking about the school funds.
Oh, no. This is from like endowments and all that stuff. Oh, well. So that got my stomach in a little bit of knots when I just saw that.
Oh, let's see here.
I'm going to let the mamas who let me know. I'll be like, oh, we ain't getting no letter. Oh, Lord. Let me put, oh, no. We haven't gotten a financial aid letter yet. Okay. So what else is going on?
People busy. They got stuff going on. I ain't worried about it yet.
Okay. So so it was me on the holding the phone, or me because I've done my hair? That's what you're saying.
Because you do a lot of stuff. Okay, you do makeup, you do hair. You be having a whole lot going on.
Well, the makeup and the hair is for the show.
No, it'd be stuff for after the show. You'd be like, oh, no, I got an audition after this, so I'm just going to go on and handle
No,
this.
it'd be for looking cute for the show.
Lie again. You don't finish it during the show.
But it'd be for looking cute for the show.
Anyway, like I said, statement stands. But yeah, I'm feeling good. Ain't nothing up. It is what it is right now. How about you?
Other than this, like I said, they just said that it came out 10 minutes ago.
What?
The letters.
They got another 10 minutes before I call them. These boys will be homeschooled.
Okay, no, somebody else said that theirs hadn't came out. Okay. All right, now I can calm down.
No, I'm not worried about it. They have stuff because this ain't no massive organization rolling things out like that. It'd be the people at the school that we know, and they might be doing alphabetically. We at the back.
Mm-hmm. I just pray ain't nothing changed.
They ain't nothing changed because they don't want to lose all this volunteerism.
I pray. Listen, I pray. All right, so we're going to start this puppy off with our first sponsor, and then we'll go into our first ad. And our first sponsor is Hugs. Oh, goodness, I love this company. I actually I had my turtle hug on the couch here last night. Amar likes the turtle hug as well. We also have a cow one. So you're probably thinking, what am I talking about? I keep saying turtle hugs and cow hugs. Well, hugs are these beautifully created. You would think they were just a stuffed animal, but no. They actually help to reduce stress and anxiety through deep touch pressure. And it's similar to how a weighted blanket works. They can activate your parasympathetic nervous system, and it'll help soothe, comfort, and relax you. And it's great because you can warm it up in the microwave, which is great for cramps, in further relaxation, or you can cool it in the freezer, which is perfect for panic attacks and fevers, just in case I end up having a panic attack because we ain't got this information we need. But inside of the hugs are non-toxic glass beads. And what's also amazing about this company is Hugs donates 10% of all proceeds of our Hugs of the Month to a mental wellness charity. Some amazing things about it is that it creates an image of coziness, warmth, and self-love to really just encourage like calmness. And I think everybody can use that in 2025. I know I can. And if you still getting cramps like I do, having a cute little heating pad to be able to put pressure onto your stomach and to soothe those cramps is exactly what you will want from this company. You're going to want this. All right. So sometimes the best care is something that's both practical and irresistibly adorable. That's where Give Hugs weighted plushies come in. They're not just cute. They're the ultimate cozy companion, perfect for relieving stress, soothing cramps, or just helping you relax after a long day. Whether you're treating yourself or looking for a thoughtful gift for someone special, these heatable, coolable plushies are a hug you can hold on to. Check out givehugs.co. Yes, that's C-O. And use code ARGUE for 20% off your first purchase or first order. Trust me, you'll want one for you and one to share. Again, that's givehugs, GIVEHUGZ.co. And use code ARGUE for 20% off your first order. Thank you, Hugs, for sponsoring today's podcast. Excuse me. I'm tripping over my words because I started thinking about you imitating yourself.
Oh.
But we're going to get to that.
Lord. You said we're going to do our sponsors, then our first ad.
Sorry.
So I'm waiting on the ad.
This ad is for our first segment.
Hey.
Our first segment is Tanksley Pride, where we talk about 1, 2, 3, or 4 of our sons, which we have affectionately named Tanksley Pride. Mm-hmm. We have Marcus, who's 15. Y'all pray for him. He's not feeling good. We have our 9-year-old twins, Kai and Sai, that will very soon be 10. And the youngest, the one with all the personality, Amar, who is 5 years old. And we have been waiting to tell this story.
Yeah.
So I'll tell the first half, you tell the second half. All right. So this weekend was a really busy week for my son. So busy that I said, you would think you were my child with how busy your schedule is. On Saturday, this is what his schedule looked like.
Lil Marcus.
Yes, my eldest. He had his first track race at the top, the first track race of the season.
Track meet.
Thank you. In his first race.
Yeah. You just sounded old when you said he had his track race.
He did. After that, he had to go to participate in the Black History Trivia Bowl with his mentorship. First of all,
he had a personal best.
Yeah, I'm going to actually go back to it. I'm just running down the schedule. He had to do his Black History Trivia Bowl. Then from there, he needed to go to his mentorship program. And then from there, he needed to go to his winter formal being held at his school. So that was his entire schedule for the day. I took him to his meet in the morning. We got up at 6 a.m. I took him. He was having really bad stomach pains. And so we were talking about the stomach pains, and I said, I think you got to use the bathroom. And he was like, I don't know. Like, I had to have him lay back a little bit. I said, that's what it sounds like. Luckily, I was right. He was better. He ran. He hit his. He had a personal record for himself. Hit a personal record. So that was great. It wasn't like he was like, oh, dusting any boys. And he realizes that he could have also ran a lot faster.
He can always run a lot faster.
He said, had he not been so worried about his stomach cramping up again, he said, I would have stayed with the front of the pack the entire time.
Yeah. Had his stomach not messed up, had he warmed up, and had he had on his spikes.
Yes.
He had 3 things going against him and still hit a personal best, was let you know how Marcus don't be running hard because he's always fearful of running out of gas. I'm like, run out of gas.
No, and this time I don't think he was worried about running out of gas. He was worried of ended up in pain.
Yeah, but
yeah,
Marcus's entire life.
Right.
He ain't never went balls to the wall and just done it.
I said I knew how you were going to perform because when you started, your body was pitched forward. I said when you are in the zone and you are like running your best, I said your body is very vertical. Mm-hmm. Like your posture is amazing running. But I was like, this was your first race. I'm so proud of you. Yeah. Did a great job. Now, the Black Trivia Bowl is where the most of this story is going to be at. So I'm going to take you back a little bit. Their mentorship program, Yala, was like, we would like to put a team of 4 boys together to participate in this Black Trivia Bowl. And they were like, parents, we hope that you encourage your boys to participate. I said, oh, it's not about encouraging. I was like, Marcus, you're doing the Black Trivia Bowl. They said, oh, that's actually what we wanted. I said, yeah, he'll do it. Marcus, by the time they sent him the study guide, he was getting ready to leave for Chicago. And they actually gave the guide to me. I thought they gave it to him as well. So he didn't even have it in Chicago, nor did he care. So he had not studied any of it. And this packet was lengthy. And not only was it lengthy, it's not stuff that you already know all the information about. For instance, one of the questions was, what was the famous dance club that became popular out of the Harlem Renaissance? I'm going to see if our Patreon can get the answer as I continue to tell the story, because I'm pretty sure most of them will get it wrong and think like I did. Well, little Marcus really couldn't find time to study. One of his friends was like, listen, why don't you just study face recognition? I said, okay, what is that? He's like, they're just going to give you a picture of a person's face, and from multiple choice, you have to know who it is. Yeah. So I was like, okay, we'll focus on that. They gave us the 30 names that he was going to have to know. I said, on Friday morning, we're going to learn half of those names. Friday evening, we'll learn the rest of the half. What's great is that about 12 people in our Patreon have answered the question, and every single last one of them have gotten it wrong. That's how hard this is. And they all answered the same. It's the exact same answer I said. I'll give the answer in a little bit. So anyways, we learned the faces. He's doing good. I'm quizzing him during school by sending him pictures of these people. Saturday, we do the quiz again. This is on the way to the race while his stomach is hurting. We're still working on it. As we're leaving the race, we're working on it. And I also help him with one of the categories is the Divine Nine. And, somebody finally got it right. Tasha got it right. The Savoy is the answer. So did L. Adams. Anyways, we learned a little bit about all the some of the Greek letter organizations. We get to the competition. He's there. He's feeling better. I'm watching them perform. Marcus gets there too. I'm watching them compete. It's him on a team with 3 other boys, and there's an alternate. The other team they're competing against is a girl who is by herself. She don't have no teammates. Okay, she's representing
she's a computer.
Yes, she's representing the SG Rose.
From Hidden Figures.
The SG Rose have a mentorship program, but only one of their girls could show up. And then the Kappas are who threw this a bowl. And their boys from the Kappa League are the ones that are competing. So there's 3 of them. So I get to watch the first 2 rounds. And they asked that question in the first 2 rounds. What was the famous dance club that was popularized in the Harlem Renaissance?
Yeah,
and I was like,
the Cotton Club.
I was like, it's the Cotton Club in my head. And that's what our boys guessed. Yala, the Cotton Club. No, it's the Savoy. The Cotton Club was a famous jazz club. Right. The Savoy was the dance club. I said, the questions are that specific?
After they done took you, look, the questions are easy. All you gotta do is study.
Yeah, I was like, wait. The questions are that specific? And they're doing it Kahoot style. And if you've never played Kahoots is not about just getting the answer right. You got to get the answer right faster than everyone else.
Yeah, you get points for getting it right, but you get more points for coming in if you answered it right, if you answered it second, if you answered in third.
So Marcus's group, even though there's more of them, they're slower because they're conversing. Mm-hmm. And two, they're not getting answers right as well.
And the answers they are getting right, they're answering last.
Yes, they're not the fast, and they're laughing every time they know they're getting something wrong.
They up there having fun. That was like, well, at least they having fun. And that's the thing. I knew when they either got the answer wrong or didn't know the answer or just didn't answer it. I would know that before the score would change, because if it changed, because I'm like, oh, they're laughing. And every time you would see everybody else score go up, theirs will stay right there or move up just a little bit. I'm like, Lord.
So the young lady is doing an amazing job. Okay, she has the benefit. The one benefit of not having any teammates is when the answer pops in her head, she can just click on it. Yeah. The disadvantage is if the answer is not in her head, she has no one else to ask, do you know this? So when I leave, it's really first and second places between the Kappa League and the young lady. And Yala, the organization my son is in, they're in a definitive third. It's not as if they're like, well, dang.
No, the score was like 21,560 was the girl in the lead. No, the Kappa boys. The girl was at like 22,000, almost at 23,000, and our boys was at like 16,000.
It was a good
chunk.
So
it was a good chunk.
Yeah.
Nice, pretty chunk.
So I left at the intermission because I had to take Amar somewhere.
Yeah. So then the second half, once it starts, they had some technical issues. So they had to start their score. They said, everybody take pictures of the score. He's like, we're going to take a picture of the score because we're going to have to add this up at the end because we got to start the scores back at 0. Everybody's like, so a bunch of people put out their phones, took pictures. So it started at 0. And, they answer their the questions come up, they answer it. So what we see is we see the score calculate. Like everybody looks at the screen and you see the score calculate, and then it jumps to who's first, second, or third. Like if somebody's in first, that's when it jumps. So everybody starts out, they're kind of the same.
Wait a minute, real quick. What I do know is that while they're answering the questions in the first 2 rounds, my son don't know these answers. That's what I'm certain of.
Marcus is laughing with the other boys. There's from our understanding, I think what he was saying is basically one boy, the first 2 rounds, had all the answers that they got.
Yes.
Out of the 4 of them that was up there on the stand and one sitting as an alternate, out of the 4 of them, only one was answering these questions.
That's his close friend, JP.
Make sure he can find us.
So, as Marcus is checking on the thing.
Oh, no, hold on. Let me go.
Yeah, go ahead. I won't do the whole story. So I'm not going to do the whole story. I'm going to go back. So pretty much there were 8 categories, and actually I'll tell you the 8 categories. The Harlem Renaissance was one of the categories. Hold on. The Divine Nine was another one of the categories. March calendar, the guy who put this together, he's created these black calendars that apparently are sold everywhere. The black calendars, I don't know. The black calendar has like a date for each thing that happened in March in Black history. So it has, Halle Berry winning, what's that thing called? The Oscars, an Oscar. So, okay, now I found it. The Harlem Renaissance, African American inventors and innovators, African Caribbean and African American cuisine, Black businesses and entrepreneurship, African American fraternities and sororities, African American music from spirituals to hip hop. Who am I? That's the photo category. That's the only thing me and little Marcus focused on. And then I did a little razzle dazzle of the fraternities and sororities. For instance, I didn't know this. The very first African American fraternity is not Alpha Phi Alpha, like most people would think. It's actually, or most people would assume, because when we think of fraternities, we typically only think of the Divine Nine. It's actually the Prince Hall Freemasons, which was founded in the 18th century. It was named after Prince Hall, who was a Revolutionary War hero. They are committed to brotherly love, truth, and relief. And then I gave him just like little snippets, like little tidbits of the Divine Nine. Like I gave him all the way up until Delta. I didn't go past Delta. I was like, okay, the first of the Divine Nine, Alpha Phi Alpha. And I said, if it's too much to remember all three of their names, I was like, just remember alphas. And then, went into the difference between, I was like, Kappa Alpha Psi was founded in Indiana University. I was like, where Omega Psi Phi was the first Black fraternity to be founded on a Black campus. I was like, both of them are in 1911. And then, I told him, I said, but prior to that was what? Oh, damn address. It went home? It ain't coming.
No. It went to back where I used to work. I don't even know why that address is in here. It's very similar to this one.
Okay, well.
Oh, my God.
All right.
I was like, what key code are you trying to put in?
Let's continue.
Anyway.
Do you want me to keep talking while you get yourself together?
No, just let me message them. This was like.
So, I was like, the AKAs, they were founded in 1908 on Howard's campus. Then I gave them a little bit of the tea between the two of how this organization started, or their organization started, versus how our organization started. Now, I gave him a lot of information on Delta. I was like, you should just know this, okay? So you can understand about what my sorority is about. So I gave him our colors. I said, I need you to know our specific name. We're not just the Deltas. I was like, it's Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, founded on January 13th, 1913. It was like I was dang near hazing this boy, but I wasn't. Anyways, we go through that, and he's absorbing it. And I was like, I don't have time to teach you the rest. Okay. I was like, but you got 5 of the 9. Okay. So hopefully the other people on your team have the other 4 of the 9, because we don't have time for you. And I also know it's just going to fly out your head. Now, when it came to the face recognition, y'all, the things that he was having to recognize, first of all, some people I'd never heard of before. I personally had never heard of Jack Johnson, the boxer. I had never heard of Oscar Michael. I had never heard of Claude McKay, or Bayard Rustin, or Octavia Butler. Actually, I've heard her name. I didn't really know who she was. Okay. The names were just like, okay. Never heard of you. Okay, all right. Oh, you know what? Am I looking in the wrong email? All right. Now, you ready to pick up the story?
Yeah, where was I at?
Start with the round. You're watching the scores go.
Oh, my God. Try and get my excitement back, y'all. Anyway, so, yeah, you see the score changing. After they put up the multiple choice, it starts timing down. It tells you how many teams have answered the question. So then, it pops up, it shows the correct answer and the scores change. Anyway, so second round starts and they all kind of start together, and you see, suddenly you see the Yala group, Marcus's group, they starting to pull ahead. It's them and the girl are starting to pull ahead. And then, and it's kind of together, like the first 2-3 ounces, like they all kind of going together. But what's so refreshing is you seeing Marcus's group stay right with everybody else. Mm-hmm. And then suddenly you see them starting to pull ahead, and they pull way ahead. It was like, and even the dudes that are now, they was like, now hold on now, y'all, they wide awake this round. They are killing it.
What category were they pulling ahead?
I don't remember. I don't remember.
It was the photo recognition.
No, it wasn't there yet.
Oh, Marcus said that's where they started.
Oh, it may have been. Okay, so the photo recognition wasn't just photo recognition. That's what I wanted to say.
It was kind of mixed
in.
It
was, no, it wasn't. It was never just photo recognition. It would say, this person did blank, 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 and blank. And then they would put up a photo of the person. So it was kind of photo recognition, but it also gave history.
Oh yeah, he didn't know nothing about the person. Yeah.
And then that's when, they started pulling and they were together. So then it was for a while it was Marcus's group and the girl. Marcus's group and the girl, and they were just kind of going neck and neck. And then all of a sudden they start pulling ahead of the girl. And I was like, oh. Wow. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, the Kappa boys, they were where Marcus and them were in the first round. It was even a couple times, just like with Marcus and them in the first round, their scores didn't even change. Mm-hmm. It was just them and the girl. But Marcus's group started pulling ahead, then she pulled back ahead. They pulled ahead. My hopes aren't getting up too high just because they were so far behind in the first round. I was like, keep you calm. They still got to add these scores together. So at the end of the next few rounds, they come up on the final question. So before they did the final question, they was like, all right, everybody pull your phones out because we got to add these scores together. So by the time they added the scores together, the girl that was by herself, she was at like 44,000 and some change. 44,000 and some change points. Marcus's group and the other boys were both at like 39,000. They were like 200 points off from each other. Basically Marcus's like one question.
Marcus's group was 39,979.
Yeah.
And the other group was 39,700 something.
Yeah. So they were like 200 points off, like right there, neck and neck. Marcus's group was in second place. So it was, what game show goes like that where you wager?
It's like the end of Jeopardy.
Yeah, end of Jeopardy. So you can wager a certain amount of points or whatever, and that's how many you will get if you get it right, or that's how many you will lose. The Kappa boys, they wagered all their points. They said, we're going to do all of it. The girl, she only wagered 1,000 because she was like, I've been this smart for this long. I ain't about to put it all on the table. I'm just going to wager 1,000. That way, give me an extra 1,000 or I'll just lose 1,000. Mm-hmm. Very smart tactic. Marcus's group wagered everything except for 79 points. Yep. They just did an even number and said, hey, we hopefully, if we all get it wrong, we'll at least be in second place. No. So they wagered everything but 7. And they didn't know the question yet. They said, you know what, wager however much you want to wager, then we'll reveal the question. The question was, who was the first African-American to run for president and be supported by a major political party, and what Divine Nine were they a part of? So they go read it off. They said, okay, Kappa boys, you wagered all of your points, all
through 39,000
such and such and such. Points. And they had up multiple choice. They guessed.
They didn't have up multiple choice.
Oh, it wasn't multiple choice.
No.
It wasn't multiple choice. I take it back. It wasn't multiple choice. He read their answer. It was, I think, Frederick Douglass. And I don't know what
Divine
Nine they said, but it's neither of those, I'm sure. It definitely was neither of those. They lost all their points. Came up to the girl. She only wagered 1,000. She said, who did she say?
She said
Booker T. Washington.
No, she said George Washington Carver.
I knew it was a Washington in there. George Washington Carver. And I'm assuming she said Alpha or Sigma something. I'm not sure. She only lost 1,000. So now she's automatically in second place.
No,
or
she's
first.
Still in first.
Or first. She's in first place. Came up to Marcus's group.
Marcus decided to be the one to answer the question.
Marcus said,
he wrote it down.
He wrote down because they were clowning, because they was like, oh, well, some people ain't even writing. That's because Marcus's group Marcus had already written the answer down. The girl, she looked like she was writing a thesis. Like she was still writing. He was even like, now the question wasn't that difficult. And then the boys, they were writing. So they was like, all right, well, y'all, I don't know. They might not have it. Marcus said, he said Shirley. I don't know what he wrote down for Chisholm.
He tried.
And he said Delta Sigma or Delta. He didn't say Delta Sigma Theta. I don't know if he knows all three.
He knows all three.
Anyway, they came in first. First of all, they got the question right. It was already loud in there of them gaining points because it was so gradual. It was like watching a damn basketball game. And when they said Shirley Chisholm, Delta Sigma Theta, it got so loud in there. People jumped up yelling. Marcus was just like, he just had the same little smirk, and he was so confident because before when they asked the question, he already knew. Like he was like, oh. So then when Angel was asking him, he was like, well, she said, what did you write down? He was like, I wrote down Shirley. He said, I tried Chisholm, but I just, but I'm sure they knew what he was trying to say. And she was like, did I tell you that she was a Delta? He was like, no, that's the only thing that made sense though. Mm-hmm. It only made sense that she was the first one to do that.
You're damn right. It only makes sense that she would be your soror mother. Yeah. I said, did it feel good? He was like, yeah. I was like, that is so exciting.
Yeah.
He said, I knew we got it right. He was like, there was no way we didn't get it right. He said, I knew we got it right.
It was the entire round was exciting, that second half, because it was just like watching them come from behind and just keep up and then get in. They were in first place for a little bit, then the girl would pass them, then they would pass her. They would get in. It was extremely entertaining. Like that was the loudest that room has probably been in a long time.
Oh man.
But then that last question was just like, that was interesting. It was fun.
Was it? How did you feel? Were you just so proud of your child?
Absolutely.
Right.
Before I was like, come on, y'all. God dang it. I said, at least that's all I said. I said, at least they having fun.
They did. I was so proud of my child. I was just like, yes. He was like, no. I said, so did you recognize the faces? He was like, yeah. He was like, all of them. I said, did any of the rest of your team know any of the faces? He was like, JP knew too. He was like, but I was the one that knew the faces. I was like, okay, so at least while you did not hold up your end of the bargain in totality, you did offer something to your group. Yeah. And that was the big thing. I was like, I said, you cannot let your team down. I understand you haven't had a chance to study, but you got to pull some weight. And the reason why he knew the answer, when on a Jack and Jill outing, was able to, they did, what do you call it? They did a private screening of Shirley. And he went to the screening. So this is the movie with Regina King. So sorry. And so he knew a lot about her from that movie. I had mentioned to him once that she was a Delta, but I knew it wasn't in a way that would have stuck. Like, it was very like, when we were doing, because Shirley... You
would have been like, that's my Sarah.
Yes, no, because Shirley Chisholm was one of the faces he had to recognize in what we studied for face recognition. And so she was actually the first face we memorized. Mm-hmm. And I know somewhere in there, and I was like, oh, she's my sorority sister. But it wasn't in a way of, our whole thing was, remember what her face looks like. Glasses. She's thinner in the face. She's brown skin. Her pictures are going to be in black and white. Her hair is curled in an afro. So it wasn't like, and this, I made sure he didn't know about nothing that they did. I was like, I don't want you to have any extra information. Like. Right. I was like, I just want you to, because it was like, I also didn't know what type of picture they were going to show him.
Right.
So I had to have him study about 3 or 4 pictures of each person so he would know. Benjamin Banneker, I was like, his will always be drawings because he came along before they started taking pictures. Who else? There was just so many people who I never heard of. And you all, I knew Octavia Butler, was a writer, but I had never read any of her stuff. Everybody was like, you ain't read in the thing. You ain't read. They were like, Angel went to a PWI. Yes. All the schools I went to were very white or Asian. So there was not a part. Her literature was not a part of our curriculum. And her face definitely was not a part of our literature. So even if I know her by name, I'm gonna tell you what, sure as heck didn't know what she looked like, but now I do. She got a cute little afro. That's what I know about him. But let me tell you about our next sponsor, Calm. Listen, have you had difficulty focusing lately? Things like parenting pressures, work challenges, school commitments, or just personal drama can wreak havoc on your ability to stay focused and productive. If this sounds like you, I know something that can make a real difference, and that is Calm. Calm is the #1 app for sleep and meditation, giving you the power to calm your mind and change your life. Everyone faces unique challenges in their daily lives, and mental health isn't about a cookie-cutter approach. That's why Calm offers a wide range of content and programs to help you navigate life's ups and downs, including meditations to help you work through anxiety and stress and boost your focus, build healthier habits, and take care of your physical well-being. Sleep stories, sleep meditations, and calming music that will help you drift off to sleep, to restful sleep quickly and naturally. Grounding exercises. If you're feeling overwhelmed, the short guided sessions use sensation, movement, and breath work to help you relax and reset. Breath work is so important, y'all. And expert-led talks to help you handle grief, improve self-esteem, and care for relationships and more. Calm puts the tools you need right in your pocket and can help you dedicate just a few minutes each day to live a happier, healthier life. Stress less, sleep more, and live better with Calm. For listeners of our show, Calm is offering an exclusive offer for 40% off a Calm premium subscription at calm.com/argue.
Argue.
Go to calm.com/argue.
Argue.
For 40% off unlimited access to Calm's entire library. That's calm.com/argue.
Argue.
Thank you, Calm, for sponsoring today's podcast.
Thank you, Calm.
So, yeah, that's our Tanksley Pride story. We've been so excited to tell you all.
Then, no, I got a little more for him. So I picked him up from the Winter Formal.
Yeah, okay.
So, yeah, we went to, well, like she said, he had the thing at Yala. I then left there. I forgot that he had the mentorship still to do later on that day because I took him to a store to get him some more track training shoes and spikes. Took him to this place called Fleet Feet, and where they you stand on the thing, they look at the pressure point so they know what kind of, if you need insoles, what kind of insoles, the best shoes. It was like a 2.5 hour process of him in there. You put on the shoes, they tell you go in the parking lot, run which ones feels better, come back, we're gonna switch it up. So that was quite a while. My plan was to just go next door to Paquito Mas, set the boys down, we're gonna get some food, then head back to the house. So Angel calls me at 1:30, 2 o'clock. She was like, he still gotta go Yala. I'm like, what? We still sitting there. He's still getting his feet assessed. I said, God dang it. So, and he got done with the track meet earlier that day. He ain't been home to take no shower because he's got the Winter Formal that evening.
Right.
So went on, took him to the house. He jumped in the shower. Angel took him to the Winter Formal. He dressed up. There was a spy theme.
Yeah, it's called Spies and Secrets.
Yeah, Spies and Secrets. So him not watching a ton of spy movies, didn't know exactly how to dress. He just looked like a busboy. He had on black pants, black dress shirt, and a black tie with sunglasses. I said, no, man, you got to put on the jacket especially if you ain't wearing a turtleneck. But he's done the turtleneck thing before. So I told him put on a suit coat, and I sent him pictures of spies in movies. I'm like, you see how everybody has on a blazer? All of them do. Anyway, so Marcus is usually his response to going to things like, how was it? It was okay. Yeah, it was okay. So it was over at 10, I think.
Yeah, 10 o'clock.
So I went and picked him up. It's 10 o'clock, so he finally walks out. He's one of the last ones to walk out, gets in the truck. So I'm like, so how was it? It was fun. It was a lot of fun. I said, what? Oh, what? It was fun. He was like, yeah, it was fun. I was like, so what all did y'all do? He was like, yeah, they had food. They played music. We was dancing. Then some. I said, y'all was dancing, huh? He was like, yeah. I said, oh, okay. I rarely see him light up specifically when going to school events and stuff like that. Like him yeah, no, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I was like, hold up. So him and his boyfriends, they definitely had themselves a time.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. He looked handsome.
Yeah, he did.
He had a busy day. I said, bless you. Bless your heart. I said, but you're going to get through it. Okay. Let's see here. Let's do TikTok o'clock.
Angel, girl, what time is it?
TikTok o'clock. I want you to hear this video that had me shaking in my boots. And I sent it to all of my friends.
I'm not your friend.
You got it too, baby.
I do.
Yes.
What video?
You'll hear it here right now.
Hey, what year does somebody have to be born to be considered old?
2000. I just turned 21, bro, and I was born in 04. So if you was born in 2000, you old as a I swear.
Hey, what year does somebody have to be born to be considered old?
2002.
Everybody say that.
They're pushing 30 now at this point.
Hey, what year does somebody have to be born to be considered old?
1999. Like at that point, you really born in like the 1900s. Like that's oldest.
Hey, what year does somebody have to be born to be considered old?
Anything that starts with a 19. Look, if you just say that, I'm like, Monk, you talking to me, you like 1999, I'm hearing 1932. You could be talking about pre-9/11, I'm gonna be like, how was the Great Depression? Like, that don't make no sense. You said 19, my dad was born in 1972. Y'all the same age.
Hey, what year does somebody have to be born to be considered old?
Anything before 2000. Because at this point, you probably turn at 25. Like, anything over 25 is old.
2002. You know, that's like super senior age.
No, literally.
That's like class of 2021. Yeah, that's like super senior age.
I don't know. Anything before 2000 is old.
Hey, what year does somebody have to be born to be considered old?
Whatever year Donald Trump was born. Because he's like crumbling in the dust.
Past his expiration date.
Wait, hey, what year does somebody have to be born to be considered old?
1980. No offense. I don't know, because like by now you're like, damn. Like 40?
When I tell you, when I heard the girl specifically say 1980, I was like, I literally, not even exaggerating, grabbed my chest and audibly said,
Yeah, because you're dramatic.
No, it just felt like, why are you talking about me like that? Why? That just feels so rude. So
I'm like, you gonna get to what you want to ask me?
In your opinion, okay, smart aleck.
No, I'm not smart aleck. I'm just waiting.
In your opinion, what is old?
Of course, it depends on the age. If you go ask a bunch of young dumbass kids, of course they're gonna think that anything 20 years older than them is old.
Well, when you were their age, what was old?
When I was their age, like 70 was old.
So you feel like they just have a completely, so you feel like this generation that's coming up right now has a warped sense of what old is.
Because I am 43, the generation that is now in 19, 20, between 20 and 26 are dumb as shit. They just seem so damn stupid just by the music that they listen to. And I know I'm saying this because I'm 43. But I imagine when I was 21, 22, 23, what I liked, somebody else 43 probably thought the same thing. But a lot of us listen to the same thing. You know, I was still D'Angelo was old by then. Rocking D'Angelo and stuff, excuse me. But yeah, I would expect that answer out of the people that he asked.
Because of the way this generation acts.
The way even the first dude, the way he was talking when he responded, is like, shut up. You sound stupid.
What?
You sound like you would say something like that.
You
like
if that's so personal.
Old, yeah, if anything, anybody born in 1999 you consider old, that means you don't plan on living past 30.
That doesn't mean, they just might think they'll be ancient. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Listen, I was in the color guard, right? And we twirled flags, right? But as an adult, I'm hearing all about these flags, and they're not talking about the color guard. They're talking about signals to let you know, alert, 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 you're going the wrong way, or this path is clear. Please continue. And those are green flags, okay? In a lot of us don't really pay attention to what our relationship green flags are. We often hear about red flags and what we should avoid, but what if we focus more on looking for green flags in friendships and partners? I know I like a green flag for me is someone who gets my sense of humor and someone who has a sense of humor. And someone who likes to listen to me and likes to be reciprocal in a relationship. So I want to be able to listen to you, so have something to say, okay? As well as if I do for you, hopefully you're going to do for me. If you're not sure what they look like, therapy can help you identify green flags, actively practice them in your relationships, and embody the green flag energy yourself. Whether you're dating, married, building a relationship, or working on yourself, it's time to form relationships that love you back. The reason why I know what my green flags are is because of therapy, because that was also one of the things I worked on were my friendships. I'm not even talking about in my marriage, just in friendships and business relationships. I wanted green flags. I wanted to know that I was in relationships and friendships and business partnerships that were actually going to benefit me and be what I actually wanted to be in. So if you've ever thought about giving therapy a chance, you need to try BetterHelp because it's completely done online. Okay, so it makes it affordable and convenient, and it serves over 5 million people worldwide. You can access a diverse network of more than 30,000 credentialed therapists with a wide range of specialties. So, baby, what you looking for, they got. And easily switch therapists at any time with no additional cost. Discover your relationship green flags with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/argue to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/argue.
I always looked at it as, all right, in this many years, how am I going to feel? Hopefully I feel the same way I do right now. I never looked at, when I was in my 20s, looked at somebody that was 43, 44 as, I didn't see broke down people in their 40s and 50s.
Yeah, I definitely.
You know what I'm saying? The people I saw that was like, oh, now you done lived a life. You over here getting up slow. They was in their 60s and 70s, and not even 60s, in their 70s and 80s. I got uncles that still be farming and shit in their 70s and 80s. I got an uncle, he's 70, he's 83. He has his yard is on, they probably have an acre and a half of land. Yeah, about an acre and a half, if not more. He has a riding mower that he pushed, but they also have a steep hill. Mm-hmm. And he still uses a push lawnmower to mow that big, long, steep hill. And he ain't winded. That ain't the only thing he does for the day. He gets up in the morning, does that, then does other stuff.
So for you, 70s was old when you were in your, because these people 70s, look like they were like 18, 19.
Yeah, if you ask a 19-year-old, that's the answer I expect. That's like the dudes that what you call it? Surveys like that, when they go out and ask questions like that, it really annoys me. It's the same as these stupid-ass white boys playing pranks on people in the hood, making it look like everybody in the hood is aggressive or got an attitude. Like, no, that's where you at pulling this bullshit. Mm-hmm. If you go over to Hicktown and do the same thing, it's going to look the same way. So if you go somewhere on a campus and ask a bunch of 19-year-olds what's old, a lot of them are going to have the same answer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, when I was 19, 20, I didn't look, to me, old was the people that I viewed as old, the people that I was around frequently that I could see old, that were like slow moving. That was like 70s. Like even my aunts and uncles, I didn't even view them as old. They were older than me, but I didn't see them as old.
What I am trying to figure out is how we got thrown in old. How we got there.
I just told you.
You just said because they're stupid.
Young, dumbass kids.
But the thing is, we all have been young and dumb, but our perception of old was different.
Our level of ignorance was different too.
Maybe, I'm trying to think of, is it that
you ask kids to listen to skirt, and that's a verse.
I'm not the music.
And they be like, it's lit.
Again, like you said, there was a lot of people if we think about some people in our parents' age that did not like hip hop when it came out. So I'm not going to compare music preferences.
They didn't like hip hop. I like hip hop. I'm saying the hip hop that they listening to.
I know. I'm referring to the dislike in music.
Yeah.
I'm still like, is it that their level of responsibility, the gap is too big now? Because we had a lot more responsibilities than a lot of 18-year-olds did. Or even if I look at how, like at 8 years old, I was walking home by myself from school. Reagan said, well.
Oh, when?
At 8 years old.
Yeah, I was about to say in elementary school, where was we? Yeah, our bus stop was so far away from our house. Elementary school, it was like a 15, 20-minute walk from the bus stop to the house in elementary school.
So that's not
it was
something
just a group
that a
of
lot
other
of
elementary
people,
school kids.
That's not something a lot of people do. I mean, I'm maybe obviously here in LA where we live, that's not what our kids are doing, but they also aren't a walkable distance. But I don't think that's what a lot of people do now.
Middle school, it was like a 25, 30-minute walk. Because where we were living, the school was in that neighborhood, but it was not close.
So that's what I mean by maybe it's now the level of responsibility from a teenager to an adult. The gap is so large now. Where before, we were adultish, younger.
I knew was one of them. It was her and another girl. They
I know
these chicks say, but because that's only one person we know this. Her and another girl, they literally had full-time jobs. When I say high school, they wasn't seniors. Mm-hmm. They was like, well, they should have been seniors,
right?
But they would literally skip class to go to work. I'm like, but why you living your life like that? Because my mama get on my nerves, so I'm gonna do me.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah, no, I get that. Just like the generation before us, their responsibilities was probably more than what we had to do. But yeah, I look at kids now. Granted, I wasn't living in California, but I wouldn't let my kids walk for 30 minutes to school. But that was the norm. My brother did it.
Yeah.
My sister did it. I did it. Getting out of school, it was even playing sports. A lot of times my parents weren't off work yet, or if I had a game, after the game, I was either walking home or riding my bike home. I had to ride my bike to practice during the summer.
Dang.
Like, because they was at work. It was like, well, practice started at 9. My parents was at work by 7.
Yeah, that's the only thing I could think of. I'm like, this is what I do with my friends, and then we're gonna move on because we've been talking for a while and we almost already at an hour.
We done had a good conversation. That's all right.
I know, but we also want to get to the stuff that you wanted to talk about this weekend, and I'm sure they want to hear from us as well.
Most of mine these gonna be in Patreon,
right? Shoot, what was I about to say? What were we just talking about?
Transmission fluid. You were saying the generations, your sister and them.
Nope, it was a concise thought. Oh. Friends, okay, got it. So something that I talk about with my friends a lot is that I say, how old was your mother when we met? That's what I usually ask. Mm-hmm. And then compare it to our current age.
Yeah.
So, for instance, I am the age my mother was when me and Nina met.
Uh-huh.
Nina is 6 years older than what her mother was when we met because her mom's 6 years younger than my mom. Me and Erica are like, how many more years? We're like 10 years older than what her mother was when we met. Mm-hmm. I think about how grown they were to us. Now, me and Erica were preteens. Me and Nina were teenagers. They, at that time, didn't seem old, but they seemed grown as hell. Like, even when I watch Martin, it's hard for me to Martin,
was like
or if I see Martin living single, I am like, how am I older than the characters on this screen?
I refuse to believe I'm older than any of them characters.
I'm like, I'm definitely not older than what Martin was on the screen. Go ahead.
What's crazy is like I had family members, I had cousins. When I was that age with these kids, when they was talking about, what's old, I had cousins, and that's what I aspired to be. Like, y'all out here living life. Y'all go clubs, y'all go lounges, y'all be taking vacation, got nice cars and houses. And I'm hanging out with y'all. Like, that was a thing for me to do. I'm like going out to hang out with y'all. Like, this is where it's at. I didn't look at them as old. I'm like,
I think you just hit the nail on the head. I don't think our life looks appetizing to young people anymore. You see how you're like, your cousins' lives looked amazing to you because they got to do stuff. I think because this younger generation is so full of anxiety and so, not all of them, but a lot of them are very, I don't want to have to work prone. I think looking at our life looks like, why would, that's old. Old people have to worry about all that stuff. So as soon as you have to worry about paying bills, having a job, you are now old.
Well, you got a rude awakening coming. It sucks to be you.
Because, like, even think about it. There are so many, you know how much we wanted to drive, how soon we wanted to drive.
Oh, my God. Yeah, now you get...
These kids are like, I don't have to get a license.
That was... I couldn't wait to... I was driving really young because, like I said, we was in the country. My uncles had pickup trucks. If they had stuff they needed moved, they knew, hey, y'all come here. Now, which one of y'all want to take my truck down there and pick up all that stuff and bring it over here? And I'm like, ooh, God. All right, you do. Right. like, oh, we get to drive? What? Yeah, and I couldn't wait to be I couldn't wait to get to the age of like my parents be like, all right, here, you just drive, take us over here, drop us off, or whatever. They never got there, especially Daddy. His nerves was too bad. I don't know why. He could not ride with us. Never. But yeah, like we couldn't wait to drive. We couldn't wait to like simple stuff like the house key, driving. We wanted those responsibilities. Yeah, like I moved out. I specifically moved out of my parents' house early. Like they thought it was too soon for me to move out. But I had a job. My friends had don't forget, my friends had a house that they were renting out. They had a 3rd bedroom, and I'm like, that to me that seemed exciting. Paying my bills, leaving and coming when I wanted to, being responsible for my own. Like,
you know why? Because that is a synonym for freedom. These kids have freedom right now with none of that.
What you mean, like being in school and stuff?
Meaning freedom to do a lot more things.
That's called college.
No, I'm saying even when I think about the stuff that our son has gotten to do, and I don't think our son is an anomaly. While, yes, he's gotten to do some major things, what he's actually been able to like participate in as far as in go and do, he has more freedom at this age than possibly what a lot of people our age had. Not that I wasn't able to go places, but like...
Yeah, I can't relate. Well, I couldn't relate to that because I wasn't restricted to doing a lot of stuff.
But it allowed you to but having a job, having your own money still gave you more freedom. Instead of it being, oh, I got these responsibilities.
Gave me less.
But in your
in my mind,
your mind.
I couldn't do as much because now I got to spend my money.
Yes. But in your mind it was like, now I ain't got to ask nobody for money.
Yeah.
They gonna give me my money on Friday because I did the work. Where these kids still have a certain amount of freedom without the money. They be broken and out here living real good lives. They are like, I'm doing my makeup. I'll hustle on the side and get money to get this weave put in. I'll figure it out from TikTok how to put this weave in my head. I don't have to have the money to pay somebody to do it.
And be like, Dr. Hustle said to Theo, you still didn't eat yet.
And that's the same thing with the reason why they don't want to drive, because Uber exists.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't have the responsibility of paying for gas, or if you make me pay my insurance, I can just get in somebody's car and give them $20.
And that, to me, that's speaking to, I was watching this thing on Black Wealth and why it's diminishing the way it has and why it's so much, the Black wealth has gone down significantly since like the 40s, 50s, and 60s. And it all relates back to Black marriage, couples being married. It's like a direct effect of people not wanting to get married, not getting married, not building families and building that wealth together. And it goes that like hand in hand, regardless of what you say, like it was like scientifically, they did all the math. It's like, oh, it's declining along with the marriage or whatever. And people being, not having, like with me, my biggest goal was a savings account. That was always attractive to me because my parents, they were always good at saving. I was like, okay, if I put money aside, okay, next month I'm looking at my savings account. I'm like, oh, bet. I remember one time my sister got so mad. It's back when I was at the Health and Education Credit Union, and I think it's when we had an ice storm and my car was slid down a hill and hit the back of somebody else's car. And I was like, I got to pay for this or whatever. My parents were like, we'll pay. I'm like, no, I want to do it. And I left my bank statements on the table. My sister looks like, how was he able to save this money? I mean, it wasn't a whole lot. I had like, in my savings account at the time, I think I had like $5,000, which at that age was like $500,000.
You could buy a house.
Yeah, $500,000. Like, but at the same time, as I had my own money, I wasn't going out like just spending. Even if I was spending, I always dedicated money to save. And she got so mad. And my mom looked at her, was like, because Marcus saves money, like he saves. Because for me, that was like what I was hustling for. It's like I would do side jobs. I'm like,
where are that money at now?
I ain't showing you my account.
Give me all that money.
I ain't got $500,000.
That's where you should be at by now.
You should be there.
She ain't never been good at that.
But yeah, so like with you saying like, oh yeah, I can just do this. I'm gonna get my hair and nails done. Because it's a lot to me. I could be wrong. A lot of this generation seems like they want to. It's all about what everybody else sees. Mm-hmm. Like they want to be in front of this social media. They want to be in front of the camera. My hair is done. My nails done. We at the club doing this, that, and the other. Or we out here spending this money. It's like, but what's it like? It's like that carrot, the carrot you only see a little bit, but the most of it you can't see versus the root that's a little bit and everything's at the top. But what are you doing for longevity? What are you learning right now? Granted, they young.
Yeah.
They got plenty of time to figure it out. They got all their 20s to figure it out. Half of their 30s to figure it out. Hopefully about 40 you got it figured out. But I already had that mindset of let me save money. That's why I already had my house and my car. My friends was still going to classes and I was out here working. But
real quick, let me read these two. Oh my God, we have one more ad. We are actually, I'm going to have her plug it in. I'm not about to do the ad now. I'm going to have her plug it in later because it needs to come in earlier. Just Jazzy said, well, not here in Iowa. Baby, we got Uber maybe. She said, good luck because that thing will not ever put you in a ride without canceling it 20 times.
Oh, that's horrible.
So they driving in Iowa. But then Shay Shiggity, our moderator, said, so essentially the problem is spoiled has become the norm. You used to have to be an anomaly to be considered spoiled. Yeah. The generation of children that are being currently raised are spoiled. I know this because I'm raising 4 very entitled, spoiled boys. Took them to the movies yesterday, and Amar just knew he was getting an icy. I said, get the hell away from that machine.
Yeah.
You're not. But did he still get one of those kid packs that are as expensive as hell? Yes, but it didn't come with an icy. I drew the line there. I said, you ain't getting no goddamn on icy for $11.
Yeah, just Jazzy says that people say that quote all the time. Tough times create strong men create easy times create weak men create tough times. I agree with that to an extent. Because my parent, like, I could have been a spoiled child. I didn't have that mindset. Like, I was spoiled to a point. Like, Angel and them would tell you, like, oh, your people had money because I had a starter jacket or whatever. But at the same time, I still like, even little Marcus, okay, I was spoiled.
What?
Shut up. Let me talk. Put it on me, Reagan. They would end all that bullshit. Like, my parents, they were doing pretty good for themselves.
Yeah.
And which in turn I benefited from, but at the same time, my parents knew how to teach me the value of $1, and I was eager to get that. Like, I would be the kid. I'm all right. Let me wash y'all's cars, and y'all gonna pay me though. This is extra stuff. I still had to do house stuff with absolutely no pay. Like, I had to take out the trash, had to clean dishes, all of that. That's just stuff I had to do. Keep things clean. But when it came to extra stuff, even cutting the grass, like, the grass needs to be cut, so you need to cut it. But the extra stuff, I'm like, let me wash y'all's cars, or what can I do? Even my uncles is like, hey, can I, let me go out here and work for y'all. I already had the mindset of I already knew the value of $1, and I wanted to work to get it. I didn't want to be handed, and I plan on teaching my boys the same way. The younger ones, I didn't know it at that time. I was still getting all the toys that I asked for, but when I was a twins age. Marcus is starting to get there. Marcus works hard at his curriculum. Marcus works hard in his sports. He works hard in school. So I wasn't doing none of the stuff that Marcus does. So that's part of the reason why I don't have him doing a whole bunch of other stuff. Because I'm like, no, you're going to be working with your mind. You ain't going to have to be out here busting suds and washing cars like I did, because you're going to use your mind, which is what I want you to use. Like, be that CEO at 20 and 30 that I wasn't capable of being. Oh, you can put it back on both of us now. I done made my statement.
Oh, I still got my statements in.
But you punk bastard.
Thank you.
But yes, I said it. That's what I call my white people. They be like, you talk to her so rough.
Oh, I know he's an asshole, but I love him.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I definitely plan on. I'm still gonna teach them the value of $1. But I agree with that statement, definitely. However, you got to know what you're doing with these kids.
And sometimes we just don't know. So that ended up being our main topic. We're going to actually close out here. Actually, I want to talk about all the tea that happened at the Image Awards and run it all the way down. But you're only going to get that if you're a part of our Patreon. So please make sure you check out our sponsors, Calm, Hugs, and BetterHelp. Use our good old promo codes. You can still get Shop Mama Likes, with your caftans, what are those, bonnets, journal, affirmation cards in a bundle at shopmamalikes.com. I will be in Charleston, South Carolina on March the 8th at the Black Expo. Please pull up. We're going to have a good time. And you can follow me at That Chick Angel TV or That Chick Angel on every platform. What you got, baby?
Hey, y'all can find me on Instagram at Marcus on the Gram, Facebook at Marcus on the Book, TikTok at Tank Don't Talk. Y'all can find my building body butter called Man Shit. You can go to manShyt.com. Check out the scented and unscented. And I got other things that I'm working on, but it's very early, but I'm excited.
All right. So, NAACP. Let me tell you how we were treated.